Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, April 26th, and this is my weekly cross-stitching update, and I have a good amount to show to you today, including the results from the Mirabilia Mania New Start vote that you guys did this past week, which was really fun, and I'll share that towards the end when I get to my plans. First, I have a little bit of Stitchy Kindness that I received this week, as well as some giveaways for you guys. So I'll start with the Stitchy Kindness. I was contacted by Donna, one of my viewers, thank you, who thought of me because she had a needlepoint counted canvas piece from a friend of hers who had taken a class and didn't finish the project or didn't want to finish the project. And so she offered it to me and I thought, well, sure, let's try it. I'm up for trying specialty stitches. It's always a fun adventure for me, so I thought, sure, why not? So this is called Village Green, and it is by Jenny Morrow and Doris Tomlinson. And based on the inside inscription, one of those ladies has passed on. Jenny Morrow passed away in 2002. So this was done, I think, right before she passed away. So there's also some sky and trees, I think, that are meant to be on this piece. And there's even like a hand-drawn paper in here for some tree ideas that I think they were going to go over in the class and they never did. So that makes me wonder if this was, put together after, like, in the middle of the project kind of thing, before it had a chance to get fully fleshed out. But all of these boxes are different specialty stitches, and then they're covered with like a little hourglass type stitch, and all the houses have different specialty stitches. It is a lot less structured than the counted canvas piece that I'm doing right now. So it's a little intimidating, but I think I looked through the book already and I think it's doable. And I probably won't work on it until I get my other counted canvas piece finished, just because I think it might be, don't hold me to that, because I may actually decide to start it. But if I figured I would only have one counted canvas piece going at a time, just because they're on stretcher bars, so they take up more room than the rolls of fabric that I usually do. But anyways, if anyone has ever done this one and knows if there's information about sky and trees out there, let me know. If not, when I get to that point, years down the road, I might go to my local needlework shop, which is actually a needlepoint store, and get some suggestions from them, because they might know, some general tips on sky and trees that I could probably figure out something basic, like a basic continental stitch or basket weave stitch to do the sky, and then play with trees. But if I had some direction as to exactly how to do that on counted canvas, that would be great. So in addition to that, though, this she already also had a start. So here is the canvas. It looks like 18 count mono canvas, which is, I think, the same stuff I'm doing my my other counted canvas piece on. And she has like the grid lines for the center and where the center village green goes, and the start of a few blocks, the start of some of the border stitches, which are tricky. And no, that's just more gridding thread. So she has like north, south, east, west stitched onto here, so you can really tell the direction that it's supposed to go and all of that. So this is really fun to be able to start with this, and especially some of these tricky stitches, since I didn't take the class and this lady did. I can always inspect her stitches to see how to do it if the directions in the book don't make sense. But there was pretty good directions for each stitch, just as far as like where everything goes in the layout was a little bit more organic, I guess. Like figure it, like this is this many stitches here and here, and which I think is probably typical of counted canvas, where you just kind of plot it out on your graph and then figure out where everything goes, which is different than a cross stitch piece, which is specifically on a paper with this square goes to this square on the fabric, and it's already plotted out exactly for you. This has pages of these squares, and they just tell you where they go. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have them all numbered, and they say this particular stitch is done in block 1, block 17, block 25. You know, so they don't have it plotted out for you ahead of time, and they tell you this block or this church goes here, or this school goes here. It's more written in like a dialogue format rather than a one big chart. So that's a different experience. She also has the scroll stretcher bars that this will go on, which is very exciting. So now I have the exact size I need to work on that, and yeah, I don't know. May start before my other one is finished, but I should be a good girl, really, and finish that other one because it is really pretty. I also don't have the threads for this one, so I will need to procure those. A lot of them are regular DMC and Anchor, but there's a few other brands, so I might have to figure out, contact my needlepoint store and get some of those. So that's fun. So thank you, Donna. That's an exciting adventure that I can go on at some point. I also have some things that I got from the Fat Quarter Shop that I can share with you. So this first one I mentioned before when it first came. This is going to be the Flea Market Flowers pattern, and it's a complete pattern. It's not a mystery, but they are doing a stitch along for this design in June and July. So it'll start June 2nd and go through July 7th. So they're having where the Fat Quarter Shop's whole stitching community will be working along different pieces different weeks, and I'm gonna try to work on this with them. I'll probably make it like a travel piece or something like that, or like a daily piece to work on it in addition to my regular stitching. But because if it's just this for 1 week, you know, and this for another week, it'll be hopefully not too much to add on to what I'm already doing. But they sent me 2 of everything, so I'm gonna give away 1. So I'm gonna keep 1 and give away 1. And they sent me also 2 DMC thread packs and 2 fabrics, which is vintage cloth. This is 25 count Lugana, an 18 by 27 inch piece. So this is it's a fat quarter. Yeah, so that's a fat quarter of fabric. So I'll give 1 of these away as well. And I'll throw in, they had some thread conditioner. And so I don't know that I will use this because I'm not really a fan of putting things on my fabric or my threads. But I don't know, maybe I should keep 1 just in case I ever come across something that feels like it needs it. But I'm gonna throw 1 in with the giveaway as well. And then why I had waited is I finally got their floss keeper that matches, which is super cute. They only sent me 1 of these, and so I was really torn as to whether I would keep it or give it to you, and I think I will go ahead and give it to you. So even though mine will probably be a travel piece and this could come in handy, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it away, and so the winner will also get this. So you will actually get a large, fun package of all the things. So because it's got all of this in it, I'm going to limit this to the United States only because it's quite expensive to ship anything beyond paper overseas. So US only for these 2 giveaways that I'm going to do today because they have products in them, fabrics and threads, and technically that now, you know, changes the nature of the package, I guess. And in America, it goes from a couple dollars to like 15, 20 as soon as you add 1 thing that's not paper. So anyways, this will go US only. If you would like to win this, it will be, oh yeah, and also the thread conditioner. This is beeswax, 100% beeswax. So this will be, let's say flowers, so for Flea Market Flowers. And so if you would like to win this, say flowers, please be over 18 so I can get your mailing address. Please be in the United States and a Don't say giveaway, don't say win or free or contest or any of those keywords, because I want to keep it in the family here. And so that's one. And then I got another one, which I think was just a bonus one. I'm not planning to stitch this one because it's going to be the Fat Quarter Shop's Stitch Mania stitch along, so you won't get it in time to start with them. I think they're going to start the end of this week, either the 30th or the 1st. And I didn't get it in time to get it to you before that. But if you like a nautical theme, you will probably enjoy this. I'll try to put a picture in of what they've given us so far. It's a mystery stitch along for the month of May, and they're going to release a different part every week. And so I don't have a physical copy to give you, and I'll have to ask, but I don't know that I can give the pattern because they're going to email an email copy, but I can give you all the stuff. So they gave me some floss biddies to hold your floss, and they've all got these, there's one that has a sailing ship on it, so they're all different kinds, and I don't really want to open it up to see all the different ones, but this one has a buoy, there's a floss, there's a sailboat, and possibly something else. But there's I don't remember how many of these are in here, maybe 20. They have a needle minder with an anchor on it, so maybe there's an anchor on one of the floss biddies too. And they have the DMC pack with all the colors that you'll need to do the stitch along. They have Ada 14 count touch of blue, Ada 18 by 25 count, and it doesn't look mottled. It looks like it's a light blue, just a plain light blue. And then a project bag to put all the goodies in. So this is for their sail away pattern, and I don't know what it's gonna be like. It looks like it has a sailboat probably and like a lighthouse. So if you like beachy nautical themed things, this might be the one for you. And again, US only because of all the stuff that's involved. It'll be expensive to ship. And so I guess you can say sail, S-A-I-L, for this one if you would like to be entered to win this one. And I'll draw for this next week, and it'll take, you know, up to a week to get to you after that. So you'll probably be able to start halfway through May, but you could still enjoy it. And if that's the sort of theme that you like, it won't matter if it's a little bit late. So if you would like all the goodies for the sail away mystery sal that Fat Quarter Shop is doing, use the word sail in your comments. I'm kind of tempted to do it, but with my Mirabilia Mania, I can't add on one more thing. So I had to say no to that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what I've been working on this week, starting with travel stitching. So I think last time, let's see, 18, yeah, I think last time I only had the A and the P done on April. This is my temperature typography. You can find this in my Etsy shop along with other temperature pieces. This is my first one, Temperature Garden. I did mine really tiny. It's 32 count 1/1 on 32 count linen. This is my old stitchy spot for those of you that remember, and this is a new chair. I got a few comments. My old red chair had started to break, and so I got a new one. I don't like this one quite as much, but I'll use it, and when it dies down the road, a few years down the road, I'll probably go back to something like my old chair because I really liked that one. This is also something you'll see rotating periodically. These are from the Snowflower Diaries, and they're free patterns on her blog. This is April's, so every once in a while I'll change these out. And I did mine 28 count 1/1 on tea-dyed Monaco, probably, with some of the called for colors and some of the DMC equivalent. And when I wasn't filming down here, it would take me a long time to get the motivation to actually come and change these. So that I would be halfway through the month before I'd be like, oh yeah, I should probably change that. So filming down here, I'll get this updated more often. So that'll be fun. So anyways, back to the typography. Here's where I got to this week. I got 2 letters done just because of how the numbers went. I'm assuming in May I won't be able to show this every week because I like to do 1 letter at a time once the whole letter has been revealed with the temperatures for that. And in May there's only 3 letters, so there's a lot of days per letter. So I probably won't be showing this every week in the month of May, just the way it'll work out. So, but there, I did the R and the I. I love the R. The R turned out really pretty, nice gradient. The top colors and the bottom colors were 2 days each, were similar. And then this one started out with the hottest one yet, 87, I believe, the hottest color. Then it went and got cold again. And it's cool now as well. This is 28 count ice, like a mystery ice blue even weave. I don't know exactly what it is. 1/1 full crosses. So that's been fun. And next week I should have April finished. And I also worked on and finished Welcoming and Cheerful, which is number 9 of the Prim Stitch series. And I posted it on Instagram yesterday, so a lot of you might have already seen this because I had been remiss in posting my finishes on Instagram. So I think I posted my last 5 finishes last night after I finished this. I was hoping, I had it like close to done. I had half the pineapple finished and that was the last thing I had to do, and I couldn't leave it there before I filmed. I needed to get it all done before I came to film today. So yesterday, before I worked on my other things, I knuckled down and got that finished. So let me show you. Here it is now, all done. So this is fun. This is, as compared to last week, this is on the called for 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim. And it's 1/1, but I've also added specialty stitches here and there. The pineapple, I think I didn't have the stems yet either. So the stems, the leaves are kind of just the diagonal stitches that I would do satin stitches kind of on a lot of the different leaves. I don't know if I had this done yet or not. That's got our big rose stitch in the middle, rose diamond, and then these have little rose stitches to fill that up and make it look kind of pokey. So that's my finish. So yay! And my daughter is getting very excited. She went through all of these and was happy to see how they're coming along, because when they're done, I'm going to put them together, sew them together into a quilt for her toys, for her dolls and stuffed animals and stuff like that. So she's very excited. Especially so for this next one because it is got a cat and she loves cats. And so this is number 10. It's called Love and Friendship. There are 12 of these, so I'm getting close to the end. So this is May now, but I think I got this at the end of, oh no, this is still April. Yeah. So June, I believe, is when the last one comes out. So I'll finish these up right when the flea market flowers will be starting, so that they might overlap a little bit, but whatever time I would normally put to this, I can put to that one. And I have not started this yet. I have my piece ready to go with my needle minder switched over, but I'll start this afternoon in the valet line to pick up my kids from school. So this, having that time, waiting for them after school, now that school is full-time again, is really helpful for my travel stitching. So I'm excited to get started on that one today. And I'll show you that next week, how far I get on that. So I worked also on my Mill Hill buttons and beads kit for Mill Hill Monday. Try to get this 2 or 3 lengths of thread every Monday as my bonus piece instead of my Quick Stitch Iris daily stitching. So this last week I worked on possibly 3, but maybe only still just 2 lengths of background. But I did do something on this. So this is compared to last time. using the called for everything that came in the kit, the perforated paper, 14 count, and all the DMC. Haven't done any beads yet, but I came in here and filled in a lot of this. Maybe even this too. Starting to fill in the bottom here. So there's still more down here of this lightest background color before I can bead. So, but it is getting closer. So we shall see how much I can get done today. Today's Monday, so we'll see if 2 or 3 lengths of thread can finish out all of the stitching, and then maybe next week I can bead. That'll be fun. That'll be great. This one I'm planning to put out in May. I have a frame that I want to rotate a different Mill Hill buttons and beads piece in every month. So I've chosen one that I think kind of represents that month and in a style that I like. There's so many to choose from, but this is the one I had earmarked for May. So it'd be really cool if I could finish it in the month of May. That would be fun. No guarantees, but that would be fun. All right, so, okay, looking around. I think that's everything random. I guess I could do my iris now as well, since that's kind of a random all the time piece. The light might be coming and going. It's cloudy out there today. Hopefully it doesn't blast me with a sunspot when the sun peeks out, but we'll do what we can here. This is Quick Stitch Iris by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a lovely piece. A lot of you I've enabled to buy this, and I'm excited because it's a beautiful piece, and it's a nice combination of blocks of color and confetti. It's not super heavy on either one, so you don't get bored and you don't get bogged down. So it's a nice blend, and it's been really fun, and the colors are gorgeous, so I highly recommend it. So here we go. This is how far I am now compared to last week. This is 25 count even weave in white, 1/1 full crosses. A lot of my full coverage pieces I like to use a half stitch just because it goes faster, but I'd never tried 1/1 with full crosses on 25 count and figured I should, and I really liked it. So it's still currently the only piece I have that's like that, because I have a lot on 28 count, either 1/1 full cross or 2/1 half stitch. I have some 25 count 2/1 half stitch, but this is still my only 1/1 full crosses on 25 count. So I may do more in the future on this because I do like the coverage. If I have a piece that's not super dark, the coverage is very nice. It is a little bit sparse in some of the darker bits, but not too bad. And then if the majority of the colors are lighter, it really doesn't matter at all. You can't see the fabric very much at all. So just a little bit here at the bottom. I think I'm at like 92% maybe. I'm getting there. Again, this one also may see a finish in the month of May, so woohoo! That'll be fun. Okay, so now for the actual like projects that I worked on this week. The first one was the Young Gardener, which kind of went along with the Secret Garden bookshelf challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics, which is a Facebook group. This is by The Art of Stitching. I just saw one on Facebook today that somebody is working on that's by Golden Kite, so you can find this a few other places. The Golden Kite one I believe is bigger. It might be less yellow, but this one is kind of small, and so I'm going with that one. I'm going to stick with it, and hopefully it turns out nicely. Next time I work on this, I may try to focus more on her just to make sure I like how she looks with this version. But I think this is a mock-up of the piece. It's not like the photograph. It's blocky. So I think this is what it's going to look like, and I'm happy with the level of detail on that. So here is this one. This was my week of 40 count where I worked on everything. This is 40 count 1/1 full crosses. No, just kidding. 1/1 half crosses. So it's really tiny, and I picked colors along the top. So I have the top row all the way done until about there. And I picked those colors and worked them in wherever they fell. Got some down in here. Some of the dark kind of went over into this corner as well, but a lot of confetti, quite a bit of confetti. And this past weekend, last weekend, not the one we just had, but the one before that, was the Confetti Conquistadors Challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics. This one would also qualify. I worked on my stitching shelf because I wanted to work in those parked threads, and that one does have a lot of confetti, but I think this is also a contender for if I ever have something that needs a lot of confetti and I'm in the mood to work on this, it qualifies. Because you pick a color and it's, the stitching shelf Max Colors has, occasionally it has bits where there's one color, one symbol of a color like on the entire page. You know, that's extreme ninja stitch confetti. This one isn't quite like that. You'll pick a color and there'll be several in that area, but there'll be, none of them will be touching. They'll be like here and here and here and here and here. So you kind of, you're always carrying. There's my back. Lots of carrying of threads. So, because the colors are not in any way touching each other, except when you get into the lady, they're a little bit flowy, but even that, not really. And then another 40 count piece, and this one I posted on Instagram, and I'm going to try to do better about posting on Instagram more often. I always have good intentions, and then I fall off the wagon, and then I come back and try to keep up on it again. But I would like to post more often, so we'll see. I just have to let it go, I think, and not have perfect pictures, because if I wait to have a perfect picture, it's not going to happen, and I just won't do it. So if I just take it willy-nilly while I'm here in my stitchy chair, it might actually happen. So I think I'll try to do that more often. So this is Bear Time Stories, and this is by Randall Spangler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's a little teddy bear reading to some baby dragons. And my son loves this. This is for my middle son, and he loves bears and dragons and books. It couldn't be more perfect. He comes over and sees the cover picture again because he couldn't remember all the detail elements, and he was enamored with it all over again. So I'm very excited. He still loves it. Not too big for this. And here is where I got to. This is also on 40 count, 1/1 half stitches, and I'm doing this extreme cross country. This is the entire design. I finished this corner with the first color that was already on my needle and started the second color. So the second color, I picked it, it was actually the third color over here, but it was a good one to be in the bear because he wanted me to work on the bear. So there's a little bit around the pillows, up here and up here on this side, and started in on the bear area. And so there's more. This, like from here up, the second color is finished, but there's more of it down here that I haven't done yet. So I have started the second big color. I do have other colors in the cookie because I did that for a challenge at one point, but I'm going to try to do most of this extreme cross country, one color at a time, and it's really fun. So you can see the bear coming to life now, and that makes it fun. This one was really fun to stitch. I spent 3 days on it, and I kind of wanted to keep going. It's just so much fun seeing the picture come together, and now that a lot of the areas have like a path already stitched in to be structure, the counting is pretty easy, and using a half stitch with easy counting, either fill in or where there's a lot of grid structure available to you, it goes really fast. And so I think I got, over the 3 days, I got about 1,000 stitches. So that was exciting in total. So woohoo! And then I worked on my son's other piece, which is Dragon Ride by Teresa Wensler. Only got 1 day on this, and I always feel like it could use more, but that's all I plotted out for it this time. I worked here in the neck, as well as finishing stitches came over here into the wing as well. So this one is on 28 count light blue even weave by MCG Textiles, and there's all of it. So I'll try to show you a before and after of all of it because I didn't catch the wing part in the close-up. But here's the close-up of the dragon's body that I can do a before and after for you of that part. I stitched one color in its entirety here and then finished out the string over here. In these are some feathers up here. And then started another color here, and that's still on my needle to do over here, but I haven't yet done it because I like to pull, since most of the colors in this are blends, I'll do my entire 4-foot length of thread as a blend and just stitch it till it runs out, because on 14 count, this is 28 count over 2, which is the equivalent of 14 count. So the stitches are pretty big compared to what I sometimes do when I'm doing 1/1, and so I feel like the thread gets used up pretty quickly, so I'll go ahead and just make the blend enormous and work it till it's done. But then because I only work on it one day, I can usually only get one long length done. This one I got 1.5 lengths done, so overall pretty good. I'll bring that out again in June for another day, and it'll get a week of time in September to spend some more quality time on it, and so that was fun. I do enjoy pulling that one out. And then Sunday, I started in on the Cozy Cafe Club by the Frosted Pumpkin. This is their mystery stitch along for the year, and it's a bunch of drinks that you could find in a cafe. So the first one was raspberry mocha, and I changed mine to raspberry cocoa. And then the next one is over here, that's matcha tea. And it is tea. I've sipped some matcha once, and I wasn't a fan necessarily, but there's really not a lot of ways you could change that, since it's got cherry blossoms on the specific cup with no handle. You know, it's very classic. So I'll just keep that matcha. I'm not opposed to trying it again to see if I like it. So I'll go ahead and keep that. And I did go ahead and pick some more border colors that are fancy floss, just because. So all of this is charted in DMC, but I've already changed this color, and then the shelf and the lace I changed to a fancy floss that I had in my stash, and now there's 3 or 4 more colors in these like blocky bits over here. So I thought, well, might as well. I had a little bit of trouble because one of the colors, I couldn't find anything even remotely close to that color, but I got something that kind of went with the spirit of it. So here's the fancy flosses that I have for my border. So those are fun, and I will share those as I do them in case you like how they look. Here is where I got to yesterday, and I will work on this again today and tomorrow, and I may or may not finish it, but if I don't, I'll maybe pull it out in the car occasionally to try to get it finished before the next clue comes out on the 25th. And since there's Mirabilia Mania plans, I don't know how that's gonna look when I'll start the next one, but we'll see. To play it by ear. So far the white, instead of Blanc, I chose Tusk by Color and Cotton, and instead of this reddish color, I chose Ladybug by Crescent Colors, which is what Classic Colorworks used to be, but I was given some old floss, so it's actually Crescent Colors. And this one in here is Revere by Color and Cotton. There's also going to be a darker shade in here. And then the matcha cup will be all DMC. And I am using, since I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, this is the same fabric I'm doing the Prim Stitch series on. I can't use regular size beads. They call for some beads, so I'm using some petite beads in 42012 that I used in the raspberries, and that same color is going to be the center of the cherry blossoms on the matcha cup. So I think there's 2 or 3 other colors of beads. So when we get to those parts, I will look through my stash and see if I have some petite beads that fit the bill. I'm gonna try not to buy anything for this and use what I have in stash to like play with the border and change the beads, and so that's been fun. So I'll work on this again for another couple days here this week and see how close I can get to finishing that first part, or the second part, I mean. And then I also worked on the Drawn Threads, Those Who Sing, on Wednesday. I had a call with Colette, the highway stitcher, and this is a piece we started together on her birthday in October. I'm up here in the words still. I did my own color conversion with random flosses I had in my stash, and I was looking when I was talking to her, they're all different brands. Victorian Motto, Weeks Dye Works, Color and Cotton, Crescent Colors, Classic Color Works, and General Art. So I think I have something from everything in here from all the major brands. This is my progress on that while I was visiting. This is 32 count Lugana, I think, or just even weave of some kind, by Fabric Flare in the color Mushroom Slushy. And this is a remnant from the my Trick or Treat Fairy by Nora Corbett that I bought this fabric for, and then I had enough left over to do something long and skinny, so this was perfect. I got this whole row done except for the letter A at the end. I finished out my string and it was time to be done anyways, so I did always find. Those who wish to sing always find a song. So I'm really close to finishing the letters, and then I can go back in and add some of the flowers before I move on to the birds and the tree and everything. So Colette is already down into the tree, so she's working on trunk and leaves and things while we talk, so that's fun. So yeah, that was a nice little bonus stitching that I got done on that day. So I think, oh yeah, one more thing I needed to show before we go into plans for this coming week is I finally got my Celtic Lady sampler stitched up, or not stitched up, charted up. So this is a collage that I put together for myself. I have all the patterns, and I took the elements and I put them together in a collage because I don't want to do all of them, the full size, all of them. I'm already doing full size Mirabilia seasonal queens, and I didn't think I needed both sets, but these are still pretty, so I decided to take some of the big medallions, one each of the little medallions, and the words and the headshots of all the ladies, and put them in there. So finally got Summer charted up, so she's done and ready to go, centered everybody, and then did some color conversions. So I changed her hair to be blacker with some dark skin, and then her hair is more brown than it was and slightly darker skin as well. She's got more of a medium skin tone, and these two are unchanged with red and blonde hair. So I thought it was more diverse, more variety. They do all look different in hair color from the original charts, but the skin tones are all the same. So I wanted it a little bit more, it looks pretty that way, but it's not as nice, I think. And so I thought this was a nice layout to have the different colors in, and I'm excited about that. So I got it into Pattern Keeper as well and charted in, or filled in, this top spring part that I had already finished. I have these 4 letters done in DMC and just started some around there with the Petite Treasure braid, and that's as far as I've gotten. But now I can go gung-ho on it, so I'm excited. My next job will be to outline everything so that I can release a guide for those of you who want to try this as well. So that's forthcoming. I will let you know when that's ready. But progress is being made, so I just kind of got a bug to sit down and do it, so that's exciting. Okay, so the rest of this week I'll work on Cozy Cafe for another couple days, and then the rest of the month, I forgot to bring it to show you, but I'll be working on my April Fairy because it's April And I figured I need to work on April Fairy in the month of April. It's only appropriate. So here is April Fairy Quick Stitch April Fairy, and I'm doing her 28 count 1/1 on Rose Monaco with a special stitch by stitch diagonal, like meticulous method. So I am still parking on this one, and I'm about there. I haven't reached the butterfly yet. I haven't reached her skin yet. So hopefully in the next diagonal or two, I will get to some of those fun things. But still in hair, and hair is really, and skin, but hair is really the largest chunk of something similar in this design. So I'm getting all of that done right away. So then everything else after that will be, I'll have on the diagonal, I'll have a lot of variety, you know, as I go down. So that'll be fun. So here is where April Fairy is now. She's still got all of her parked threads because I still am enjoying the process of this one. So even though I'm eliminating parked threads on a lot of my pieces, and I still am enjoying the way that I'm doing this one. So this is on 28 count Rose Monaco 1/1, full crosses. Yeah, so that's where I'm starting. I'll definitely finish this little diagonal, start the next one. So we'll see how far I can get in 3 days. And then after that, we have May 1st on Saturday. So that brings us to the results of the vote. So I went in, I'll hold this back. I went in and just tallied every other day, all the comments and what people suggested or voted for the I have 7 kitted Mirabilias, and I only want to start one of them in May. And I have 9 others that are already started, and I want the new start and all the 9 whips to get 3 days each. So starting on May 1st, I'll do the new start first because it's mania. You have to start something right away. So I will go through and show you least to greatest what all the voting was. I was really excited to follow this process, and there was some, you know, some were neck and neck for a while, and some were started out slow and then started making a comeback and to give the leaders a run for their money. It was really fun following what everybody chose, and in the process of all of this made me want to start all of them because they all have wonderful qualities to them, and I'm excited that I have them available whenever I get the urge to start them. I will hopefully try to be good maybe and finish some before I add more, because 10 is a nice round number. So but a lot of these I'm like, oh, but I really want to start that one too. The one that won, I'm very happy to start. It was actually the one that after filming and editing, I was looking back through it and said, yeah, I think I'd prefer that one. And that's the one you guys chose too. So that's exciting. All right, so I will show you all of these in backwards order. The one that got the least amount of stitches, or the least amount of votes, but actually quite a few passionate votes, I guess, was Cottage Garden Fairy with 34. And this one got a lot of love for this fabric. So me too. I'm excited to see how that stitches up on that fabric. So that one got 34 votes. The next one was Cassiopeia. She had 45 votes, and that was the one I'm going to do on her. And she's got really pretty fabric, or really pretty threads on her. And another one, the next one was Titania with 57 votes. She's pretty. I'm going to do her on this green, willow green, I think, fabric. But not yet. The next one was Sabrina, which is 63 votes. She's got everything called for, all kitted up. So I will start her later. Terry from Terry Lee Crafts has her too and said if she wins, we can start it together. She did not win though. She got close. All right, and then we had a two-way tie for second place, I guess. So we had the two that are on this gorgeous what is this one called? this fabric, Nightshade by Color and Cotton. A beautiful dark blue. We had Lily of the Woods and Christmas Elegance were both tied for second place. And a lot of you pointed out that I don't have a Christmas piece right now going, so this one would be a good one to do for that. And it's a little bit unique compared to some of the other pieces I have. And this one is a nice companion to Midsummer Night's Ferry, and they both are on gorgeous fabric. But those were second place. First place was, oh, second place was 74. They each got 74 votes. First place was Lady of the Mist, and she had 108 votes. So, yay! Seeing this with this is light denim, 32 count linen in light denim by Color and Cotton. Seeing it next to that during my video just made me, oh yeah, I really want to do that. So I'm excited. I may actually start from the top down because it's got a corner here rather than start in the middle and work up. So yeah, we'll see. This is the one I will be starting on May 1st. So thank you for helping me pick, because it was really hard to choose, especially after I got to looking at them all again. I'm like, I don't know. They're all great. So this is the one I'll be starting on May 1st for Mirabilia Mania. And then most likely, Lord willing, I'll come back next Monday. I'll still have one more day on this at that point. So, and then I'll start in alphabetically through my 9 works in progress on the 4th with Adia the Garden Fairy. So, but I'll show those later as they come up. So this is the first one I'll be starting. She has beads, but no fancy floss. So DMC and Mill Hill beads. So I'll have to take a look at the bead list and make sure I have everything. And if not, I might place an order for some of the beads, because once I've gotten started on something, I want to be ready, because I do like to bead as I go in some cases. So yay! So thank you so much for voting. That was really fun. I think a lot of you had just as much fun as I did. So here is my tally sheet. I came in here, Lady of the Mist even ran out of space and I had to start tallying up in the margins. But it was really fun, and I loved hearing some of you guys gave reasons for them, which made me want them all the more. So I'll definitely be starting all of these at some point, just not right now. So thank you for helping me figure that out. Yeah, so I think that's everything that I will be working on this week. And so if you would like either of those giveaway packages, make sure don't say giveaway in the comments, or win or free or whatever. Please be in the United States, since they are larger packages, and say either flowers for the flea market flowers pack, or sail, S-A-I-L, for the sail away mystery style supplies for that one. So and I'll draw for those next week. So in the meantime, have a wonderful week. Happy stitching. Enjoy the start of your mania, whatever you're choosing to do, and happy stitching. Bye.